Welcome to our YouTube channel. So today I am going to explain about before insert versus after insert in the triggers. So let's move on to the video. So this is a definition about before versus after triggers. So first one is a before insert trigger. In the context of Salesforce or database operation, before insert is refers to a specific trigger event or context that occurs before new records are added to the database. In simple words we can say, so this is one of the event that allows you to perform the actions and validations or the modification to the data before it is actually inserted into the database. So this is a simple term about the before insert trigger. So next one is a after insert trigger. This event runs the block of the code after inserting the data into the database. So operations such as creating, updating the related records can be performed under this event. In simple words, the after insert trigger is, so this event occurs after new records have been successfully inserted into the database. So this is an example. We'll check how to perform the before insert in the program. So problem statement is, if the account industry is not null and having the values media, then its populate rating is to be hot. So next move on to the example. So this is an example about before insert trigger. So first line, trigger. This is a trigger, account trigger on account, before insert, after insert. This is a trigger and this is a trigger name. We can say it's an account trigger on account. Account is nothing but the object, and this before and after is are the events. These are the trigger events for the context. So next is a if trigger is insert. So what actually it performs? This is a built-in boolean variables in the Salesforce trigger. It evaluates to when the trigger is fired due to the insert operation of a record in the object. And also if the trigger is after, then this condition should perform. It evaluates to true when the trigger is in the after trigger context. So the account trigger handler dot before insert trigger dot new. So this statement says that, so this is a reference to the custom Apex class. The account trigger handler, it is one of the reference to the Apex custom class, and before insert is the function with the account trigger handler class. And next is the trigger dot new. So it represents the new records that are about to be inserted. Whenever they create new records, it will be stored into the trigger.new. So next is else if trigger dot is after. So this condition statements in Apex that allows you to check an additional condition, like if the previous condition evaluates to be false. In this case, it checks the trigger context is the after context. So the trigger is after. At earlier mentioned that trigger is after is a built-in boolean variable. So it's one of the Salesforce triggers. It evaluates true when the trigger is in the after trigger context. So this is about the example of basic example of the how trigger insert is performed. So next we'll execute this code into the Salesforce developer. So let's move on to the developer org. So before moving to the execution part, we'll try to explain this trigger handler. So why we wrote a trigger handler program? So trigger handler is a design pattern that separates the business logic of a trigger from the trigger itself. So this is the purpose we have to write the trigger handler program. So next one is a public class account trigger handler. Here is a public is a class name, and account trigger handler is defined in the Salesforce trigger handlers are typically organized as an Apex class and that are used to centralize and manage the logic that should be executed when the trigger event occurs. Public static void before insert list of accounts into the new list. So this defines a public static method called as a before insert, which take the list of account records as a parameter. So this method is intended to execute the before new account records are inserted into the database. Coming to the for loop. So for account ACC is equals to new list. So inside the before insert method, there is a loop that iterates through the each account record in the new list. The new list parameter represents the list of account records that are being inserted into the current transaction. If account industry is not equal to null and account industry is equal to media, so within this loop there is a condition statement like if. It checks the two conditions. First one is the account dot industry is not equal to null. This condition check if the industry field on the account object is not null. So this is a safety to check the avoid the null pointer of the execution. So next one is the account dot industry is equal to media. So this condition it will check the industry field on the current account record is equal to the string media or not. So next one is the ACC dot rating is equal to hot. If both conditions in the if statement are met, the code set to the rating field on the current account record to hot. This implies that if an account has a non-null industry field within the value media and its rating will be set to be hot. So this is one of the example. So next we have moved to the execution part, how it will be performed in the Salesforce org. So let's move on to the execution. So this is the code. We have already explained this code in the previous slides. So this one is an account trigger program, and this one is an account trigger handler. This is one of the Apex class. This is a trigger program and this is a Apex class. Now I will try to execute this one. We'll see the output. For that you have to log into our Salesforce org, then go to app launcher, view all, sales, for that we have to create a one account. That's why go to the accounts, create a new. So account name is I will take a text execute one. This is the account name. So I will take a industry type as the media. If I select this industry type as a media, and automatically it will take the rating is equals to hot. So let's check this one. First we have to save this program. So account is created. So go to details. So this is a test execute one. I taken as a industry type is equals to media, and automatically it will taken as a rating is equal to hot through by the trigger. So this is a basic example. We have seen how the before insert trigger will perform. In the next session, I am going to explain about after insert trigger. So I hope you understood this video. Thank you so much for watching.